All right, boys, man. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, we're going to be talking about my honest advice as someone who actually wants to get rich, even though I'm not actually rich myself yet. But I feel like I'm only going to tell y'all based off of like what makes sense and how I personally get to the next level of making six figures as a 19-year-old. Anyways, let's just get straight into it, bro. Number one, I really believe that you should always find a vehicle of a business, and I dead ass think that you might got to stick to that shit for a year. Because I do believe that you can kind of quickly get rich. I feel like wealth is the part that might take the longest, okay? Because wealth is like, a lot of M's. I'm just putting it like that. I mean, well, wealth can be whatever you perceive it to be, but I feel like in my case, it'll be a lot of M's. Okay, I feel like as far as making like 500,000 to like an actual $1 million, that's probably not really the hardest part. Not really. It might be, you know what I'm saying, further on. It might be further on. So I feel like it's picking a business model and just sticking to it and not switching the business model. It's sticking to one thing and you're doing it for like over a year or two. Because I believe that you could get rich quick. If you stick to a business model for 1 year or two and you stay actually consistent at it every single day, how can you not be successful? You feel me? So one business model is probably the way. You got to find that one business model and discipline yourself and stick to it. And I really believe like that's truthfully how you can actually get rich off of just one business model. Number two, I'm going to go ahead and say something like this, bro. I do believe that you really got to pray for this because I don't believe that you can do it all on your own. I feel like you really got to pray and, you know what I'm saying, pray every single day and work really hard at that business. And I feel like God will literally bring the right people into your life as you're on your journey to success. I believe that God will bring the right people to you and you're just going to happen to meet the right people because guess what? You're vibing on this frequency to attract these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So you're asking God, you're raising your vibration, and I just believe that you're gonna attract the right people into your life on your way to success. And God got to see that you're putting in work every day. I feel like I do believe that God is literally watching over everybody, and I feel like He's seeing who's showing up every single day, who's trying their hardest. And I really believe He rewards you because you're the one that keep trying. He make you keep on failing, going through plenty of bullshit over and over and over again, okay? I really believe that he gotta see some work. You know what I'm saying? He got to see that work and see that you put it in every day, so he could give you the right people and you can attract the right people and you can network and use these people as leverage. You know what I'm saying? I believe that you don't gotta force networking, but the networking, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna meet them and then they're gonna just be a part of your business and you're gonna keep that running. So number two, I would like to say that you must pray, bro. I believe that you gotta pray because you alone without God, bro, that shit not happening. I tried countless of times without God. And I notice as I use God and work on my business, I see literally more results versus if I don't pray and nothing happens, you know? So I believe that you got to discipline yourself every single day to make time for God and just pray and just, you know what I'm saying? And make things happen basically, man. And number three, my question would be like, does it really align? And you're probably like, okay, bro, what do you mean, bro? When you're praying for these goals, you're sticking to one business model. Does it really align though? Like, because if you're sitting there praying and working on one business model, but you're not showing a consistent effort, you're not showing up every day, and you're not putting in time into that business model, then it's like, how does that align with your prayer or your manifestation? If you're trying to manifest something, your habits got to align with the thing that you're praying for. Because if your habits don't align with it, then you feel me? How's that shit supposed to work? So I feel like in order to actually sit there and outwork literally everybody, is your habits gotta you gotta have like this routine, this very extreme discipline routine in order to outwork everybody. And I do believe that everybody would damn near look at you like a superhuman because I feel like I get looked at like that. Even when I was in high school, I got looked at like a superhuman because I had a specific routine that I did every single day. But I always update my routine every time. But you want to have a routine that you do every single day. So you basically can outwork the masses. So you need a high ethical routine in order to achieve these things. Sticking to one business model and praying every single day. And you just do this every single day for a year straight. You got to stick to that one routine and you're likely to become successful because habits are dangerous. They can be good or bad. It just depends on how you use the habits. You know what I mean? If you choose to drink and smoke every single day, you know what I mean? It becomes a habit. And now guess what? You probably can't stop doing it because it's a rhythm that you're doing it. I read this book called Out and the Devil. It talks about hypnotic rhythm. It's a rhythm that it's going to be kind of hard to get out of. So you got to create a routine for yourself so you don't fuck yourself up. You know what I'm saying? So keep a routine and do these things every single time. It's a routine. It's sticking to one business model. And it's literally praying. And make sure it's a high ethical routine that basically it can outwork the masses basically without actually killing yourself or any of that. I mean, it's just a disciplined routine. You still working your ass off, but it's not working your ass off where you're burnt out and fucked up and none of that shit. So I just want to say, create a high ethical routine that you do every single day and stick to that routine for literally 1 year. That's kind of what I did to get to the point where I'm at now. And I just got to keep on doing that shit. But now I'm trying to do it to make it like a millionaire kind of routine. You get what I'm saying? Number 4, I want to talk about brain points. I've been recently listening to Ham's videos, and he talked about brain points. Everybody gets about 100 brain points every single day. Here's are the things that can fuck your brain points up. Number 1, checking your phone, notifications, scrolling, and just social media. All that in one, that can fuck your brain points. Think about it. If you're looking at a notification and shit like that, that's 5 brain points. You need these brain points. Brain points are something that you need. Let's say, I'm gonna give you a good example. I'm gonna actually ask you this. Have you ever had to take care of something, but you didn't have the mental capacity to go ahead and do so? Well, that's basically the brain points, bro. You use your brain points on some other bullshit. So you don't have the mental capability to sit there and focus on the fucking task. That's what's fucking you up, bro. It's literally because of the brain points. If that shit wasn't, if you didn't fucking scroll or you took that phone call or argued in the morning and did some random bullshit, you had the brain points. I hope you're understanding me on the brain points. You need these things so you can take care of the shit that you got to take care of. And guess what? Brain points can also add up too. So, number 1, like I said, you gotta avoid scrolling. Avoid checking your phone in the morning. Avoid all that, bro. Stay off your phone, bro. Don't even use that last hour of the day to really scroll. I'm starting to learn that shit. I'm just now trying to do that now. I'm trying to avoid scrolling as much as possible so I can stay on the task that I need to take care of. This is when I was talking about routine, bro. The thing that's really fucking us up is 9 times out of 10 is really our phone. Another thing that can fuck our brain points up is eating random bullshit. Things like McDonald's or things like carbs. These things fuck you up when you're not eating right. So now I'm starting to understand to keep the brain points and shit and keep them right. Bro, you can either go on a keto diet or you can go on a carnivore diet. Personally, I'm on a carnivore diet where I basically just eat meats and vegetables. That's really all I eat, bro. And another way to keep the brain points is literally you got to fast, bro. When you sit there and you fast, you got to understand when you're fasting, you're actually more focused. You're more aware. You're more locked in. These things really help you. And you're probably wondering like, bro, I'm hungry as fuck. Like, I'm hungry as hell. I can't even lock in. Well, let me ask you a quick question. When you eat something, right, when you're full, you can't focus on the task. I'm pretty sure you remember being in high school where you had to do an assignment, but you ate some food, so you couldn't really lock in. You either fell asleep or your mind just went somewhere else. But think about when you're hungry. See, when you're hungry, you're more locked in, bro. Would you rather be full or hungry when doing a task? You're more likely to be really hungry. Now, if you over here saying you're full, you kind of sound like a bitch. And I'm not even trying to sound like one of those guys, but I heard females say, oh, I can't do that. But they're females. They have emotions. But like as a man, bro, literally, you don't need nothing to eat, bro. So I feel like, you notice all the most successful guys, like niggas like the Andrew Tates or the Justin Wallers or the Hamzas, anybody that's kind of successful, or Brandon Carter, these niggas are on keto diets or carnivore diets. I seen literally one of Andrew Tate's things where he eats like probably like he eats 3 steaks at night. And he does this shit twice a day. He literally smokes coffee. He really smokes and just drink coffee. Now, cigarettes and shit that does got nicotine and all that shit, like the cigars and all that, but it still gives you more focus. Now, I'm not recommending anything, but all I'm saying is if you either stick to 1 to 2 meals a day and just work all day, you'll literally be more focused, bro. Like, just understand it. Literally go try it. Try one day when you're literally eating and working on business, and then try a day when you're hungry as fuck and watch. Okay, yeah, you're hungry as fuck, but don't really worry about it, bro. Just lock in, bro. And I feel like these are the real 4 things, my honest advice to literally being successful is literally, like I said, number 1, sticking to one business model. Number 2, make sure you're praying. Number 3, create a high performance routine. And number 4, keto diet. And I do believe these are the 4 things and the 4 keys to kind of become successful. And literally, I was talking about the brain points too. Like I said, last add-on, they add up also. If you stick to your routine as best as you can, and you do this shit every day for a year, and you don't scroll, if you like avoid scrolling for the most part, I'm not saying you can't scroll at all, but I really recommend don't scroll for real at all. The brain points can add up every single day. So let's say you start off with 100 brain points, you might have 80 brain points. You might have 80 brain points at the end of the day, but guess what? Like, if you didn't scroll or any of that, and you're getting enough sleep too, because sleep also is a big factor. If you're getting enough sleep every single night, I know a lot of people say 4 or 5 hours, but you can't really function. You notice that when you don't sleep enough, your brain is fucked up. You can't function throughout the day. Bro, you might need sleep, gang. So if you're going to sleep on time, at the same time, waking up at the same time, and you're doing the same shit every day, your brain points can add up. You're keeping enough sleep, you're eating right, you're praying, you're doing the right tasks, you're not scrolling. After 90 days, this just becomes a habit. And this is kind of how you will become successful, because now you're doing the same thing every single day. You want to be that kind of that rich six-pack kind of guy, bro. You want to have that God physique. You want to be kind of like that Chad kind of rich guy, or whatever you want to call it, the Tyrone, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, bro. And I'm sorry again. I know I'm talking too fucking much, but I'm kind of cooking right now, bro. Number 5, eat the fucking frog, bro. First thing you do when you wake up, you eat the frog. You're probably like, what you mean by eat the frog? When you wake up in the morning, do the task that you immediately don't want to do, bro. You got to kind of do that, because you got to save your brain points as much as possible, bro. You got to do the task that you 9 times out of 10 you don't really want to do. So let's say you like working out in the gym, but what you don't like is dumbass example, working on a business. If you like working out in the gym, don't wake up and start working on the gym. No, wake up and start working on that business that you procrastinate on and that you don't actually want to do. That's the thing. When you're eating the frog, you're actually going to do the hardest task, and the tasks get easier as the day go on. So you're likely to take care of all the bullshit. Just get that shit over with. Don't procrastinate. That also permits procrastination versus doing a task you want to do. Now you procrastinated. When you get to that task, you like, fuck it. I don't even want to do that task no more. Fuck all that. Bro, don't even do that, gang. Like, just take care of the hardest task of what you're doing, bro, and make a routine. And I do believe that these are honestly the things to actually get rich. And you're staying focused on that business, and that's all you're doing. This is basically how you live. You're living like an absolute fucking monk. It's a very high performance, disciplined routine. And I do believe that you can literally become a millionaire and get out literally within probably a year. No bullshit. That's my honest advice, and this is my theory on literally getting rich. And I feel like this has been working for me at the age I'm at now. So, if you watched to the end, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you gained some knowledge. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments down below. I'm going to catch you on this next video. Peace. Mwah.